What's up, guys? RyHoMagnifico back again, and coming at you with an Oh the horror movie review. For this whole month, we're going to be talking zombies. That's right, so for the month of October, the month of Halloween, as all us horror fans would probably call it, I'm going to be talking about zombie movies, because what's more fun to watch during Halloween than zombie flicks? Not to mention the fact that right now at 50Rama, that's 50Rama.blogspot.com, the whole month is going to be zombie month. So all the lists that we're going to be doing on the website for the rest of the month, all of myself and Cole and Shane and Bruce are going to be zombie related. I don't know if there's anything up there just yet. I'm going to be working on mine a little bit here, but just a heads up, be checking out the site. I'll let you know as the reviews go. But anyway, so yeah, for the whole month, I wanted to talk about 4 of my favorite zombie films, and I don't mean that they're like insane classics all the time, even though I consider them all classics. But just 4 that I love watching, and I just really felt like watching this time of year especially. And yeah, so the first one I want to talk about, as you can see by the title, is Night of the Living Dead, from 1990, directed by Tom Savini, also known as Night 90. On the DVD case here, you might not be able to see that, but you can kind of see it on the DVD here. It says George A. Romero's Night of the Living Dead, which is kind of a misnomer. And I actually bought this film thinking it was just a cheap copy of the original black and white Night of the Living Dead. On the back you can see some color shots. I thought maybe they colorized the film at first. Wasn't really paying attention, but this is actually Tom Savini's remake of George Romero's film, which was done in '89. I think it came out in '90, because everyone calls it Night 90. It might have been filmed in '89. But this is the one that's starring Patricia Tallman as Barbara. You have Todd in the role of Ben, Tom Towles as Cooper, William Butler as Tommy, and Bill Moseley plays Barbara's brother at the very start. As far as remakes go, this one is an interesting piece. I love this movie, I really do. Night 90 is one of my favorite zombie films, of course, or it wouldn't be in here. One of the first zombie films I ever saw, too. I caught it on TV one night when I was a kid, sort of like a late night horror thing. But really, this one, a lot of remakes, you know, they say they want to do the film with updated technology and you know, update it for a new audience and all this different stuff. Most of the part, as we all know, they're cash-ins. You get a bunch of good-looking people from, you know, whatever it is now. I don't know what the WB is called anymore. Something like that, you know, and they put out a show, a movie. This one is sort of like, I would call this a nice compliment to the original film, George Romero's. This film is actually, of course, it's based on the screenplay by John Russo and George Romero. But George Romero also wrote the screenplay for this one. It's also produced by John Russo and Russ Reiner, I believe. Russ Steiner? Russ Reiner? His name is eluding me here. What's that? Russ Streiner. Sorry, I always get that name wrong. But also directed by Tom Savini, who is a huge fan, of course, of the original, worked a lot with George Romero after the original movie. In the original Night of the Living Dead, he was supposed to do special effects for it, but couldn't. I believe he was either still working with the Army or something like that. I can't remember how exactly the story goes, but he, of course, came in and did Dawn of the Dead special effects, which made the movie, you know, the phenomenon it is today in a lot of ways. I mean, the story itself does Dawn of the Dead all the justice in the world, but Tom Savini's special effects definitely helped that along. So it's interesting to see this film, which is a cross of his special effects and his directing, which, I mean, the film, it pretty much follows the storyline of the first one. She makes a few changes. Of course, in this one, Barbara is played by Patricia Tallman, a very strong female lead, whereas Barbara in the last one was just in hysterics most of the movie and sitting down around crying. Todd is awesome as Ben in this. He's just as good. Well, maybe not quite as good as the guy that played in the original, which his name is totally eluding me right now. But Todd is a great Ben in this. He's a really strong character. Tom Towles, I think, hits the mark completely with Cooper. He is completely just an asshole, and he plays the perfect quintessential asshole in this film. Also, like I said, William Butler's in it, which is interesting because he played in Friday the 13th Part 7, which was directed by John Carl Buechler, a horror special effects guy, and he's in Tom Savini's version of Night of the Living Dead, so it's kind of interesting that he ended up in both these films. But all in all, the film looks great. Again, the zombies look great, and of course there's some really memorable ones in here. There's that sort of emaciated zombie that comes to the window with his arms like that. There's the heroin zombie, things of that nature. I guess in a sense just more graphic than the original, but the same story's there, and the ending is really potent in this movie too. Really strong ending, just like in the original. But in this one, I find it hits home really well. I don't mean to ruin it for anybody, but Barbara gets away and Ben's injured and stuff like that, and you sort of get this look at it's all these hillbillies have rounded up the zombies and everyone's sort of safe, but you sort of see the gruesome side of mankind and stuff like that. There's a whole lot you can read into it, but you see all these all these hillbillies and rednecks and stuff, and they've got them all hung up, and all the zombies hung up, and they're shooting at them and stuff like that, and they're just messing with them and just getting drunk, and they end up going back to the house, which is the original house from the original film as well. But they end up going back to the house, and there's Tony Todd. He's been turned into a zombie, and Patricia, or sort of Barbara, is very upset about it, and of course they have to take him down. And then she meets up with Cooper, who is still alive. He survived the night, and she just blows his brains out because really he was the monster. He pretty much fucked everything up for everybody in the house, fought them on everything, and in a lot of ways was the result of them actually being attacked and a lot of them dying. Whereas Ben's character, who unfortunately turned into a zombie, fought to try and save everyone. So. And she even there's even a quote in it, they're us and we're them. It's sort of this, whole dynamic there where how much better are we than the zombies and stuff like that. But not looking into all that stuff, if you like horror films, this has great special effects, not a whole lot of gory scenes or anything like that, but the zombies do look great in it. I think, again, it has a great story, great acting in it. I really like Tony Todd and Tommy Towles, mostly in the film, and yeah, just something you definitely have to check out if you're into any of George Romero's Night of the Living Dead films. You should definitely check out the remake of the original because I mean, it's funny, out of remakes that come out, Dawn of the Dead's remake that Zack Snyder did, also very good, and this one's very good. However, I believe that there's a Night of the Living Dead 3D that was made, another remake of this. I haven't seen it yet. I don't think I've heard anything good about it. I believe Endurance Productions has a review up for it they'll have to check out, so you should check that out as well. But yeah, that's Night 90, Night of the Living Dead, 1990, Tom Savini's sort of crack at George Romero's original quintessential zombie flick. So that's starting off our zombie month here at RyHo Talks About Nothing, and I hope you guys keep your eye on the site and check out the rest of the stuff I'm going to have for the rest of the month. So. And also, and also 5orama.blogspot.com, shadoosh. It'll be in a link over here somewhere, and you should definitely check that out because we are going to have some zombie-related lists up in the near future. So yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed, and I will talk to you later. Peace.